Welcome back, our dear viewers. The economic zone of the Suez Canal Authority has become a new dimension in achieving the added value of one of the most important waterways in the world. The General Authority for Economic Zone of the Suez Canal announced the success of the first operation of supplying a container ship with the green fuel methanol in the port of East Port Said late on Friday. To shed more light on the issue, our dear viewers, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Ali Islam, former president of the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Dr. Islam, can you explain to us how the Suez Canal Authority is planning to transform the regional ports into fueling centers?
Yes, actually, it's a very important step in the economic development of the country because Egypt is lucky to have a nice location, the Suez Canal between the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. And actually using the ports to fuel the ships which are need fuel, either fuel, classic fuel or green fuel.
Yep.
The tendency now is to use green fuel for fueling the ships to reduce the emissions of greenhouse gases.
Yep.
And this is the strategy of the country, to reduce the emission and use the benefit from the ports to fuel the ships, either from products that is produced in Egypt or just as shipping centers to fuel the ships with green fuel.
Yes. Sir, how would the authority go about implementing this project of ship fueling centers?
Yes, it is its success to refuel to ships last month with a huge amount of methanol. With all the logistics which has been done, it puts an example that Egypt can do that, and also that Egypt is planning, or it signed already some agreements with multinational companies. I would say, for example, with Norway companies, which has the capability of producing green methanol.
Yes.
And this is important because they are not going only to produce green methanol by classic method, but the source of energy they will build a source of energy with solar and wind energy, and it is a good project to be implemented and produce methanol. And also in Ain Sokhna, there are some plans or agreements with multinational entities to produce green hydrogen as a source of clean fuel, and also as a step to produce green ammonia and green urea for fertilizers. So it is a very good achievement to use our port, not only in Suez, but also in Damietta and other ports in Egypt for the economic development of the country.
Indeed. Sir, what would be the capacity of these centers?
Capacity of, for example, in this project, they are, for Norway, they are planning to produce maybe 40,000 tons of green methanol, which can be increased to 200,000 tons per year, and it will have the opportunity to for export of the petrochemicals to other countries. So it will be a good approach to reduce the import of similar projects or similar products in Egypt, but also to export and have a hard currency source.
Indeed. Can actually ships come to Egypt's port just to fuel up the ships?
Yes, sure. It is a great asset to have only to gain the reputation that we can do that, and we can do that in a safe manner without polluting the environment.
Yes.
They can use the Suez Canal ports to just fuel their ships with green fuel.
Yeah.
So it is absolutely possible.
Indeed. Sir, how do you think the project can bring about the job opportunities?
The job opportunities comes from that investment is coming through multinational agreement to build these huge projects, and this of course will generate opportunities for human resources to work on these projects, but it will also has a chance for the private sector to participate and put some money in these projects, and it will make great advancement for the whole economy to benefit from this actual strategic plan to reduce the cost of importing similar projects and to export it for the benefit of the whole world.
Actually, sir, how can this influence the economic development in the country?
The economic development is in actually using this fuel as a replacement or addition to to gasoline and to other petroleum products, and this will of course have a much great influence on the economy of the whole country, and it is a hard currency bringing for the country. So we are using our location to have this opportunity to increase and develop our economy.
So, are we optimistic here about transforming the ports into regional center for fueling ships with traditional fossil or green fuels, both amid its endeavor to localize the green fuel industry and feeding and complementary industries to achieve the added value of the geopolitical location of the Suez Canal, Dr. Islam?
Yes, certainly, because as I see, I made a search on the real situation in Egypt. Actually, our attitude and our president now is that, or always, that he always declare the projects when they are finished. It is a very good approach, and I'm really optimistic about the sincerity of the government towards the green fuel and to have their commitment in reality for the climate change and reducing the greenhouse gases and benefit from this in the real economic development of the country. So I'm really optimistic.
Indeed, Dr. Ali Islam, former president of the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority, thank you so much, sir, for your precious input. And our dear viewers, a quick recap of today's episode. We were talking about the visit by the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar to Germany and his meeting with the German president, where the two discussed the Islamophobia and how the world could face such a threat. Also, the general topic of the Islamophobia that was discussed also stressed the significance of increasing the value of coexistence between the different religions and the different societies. Also in today's edition, we shed light about the economic zone of the Suez Canal, which became a new dimension in achieving the added value of the most important waterways in the world, and the General Authority for the Economic Zone of the Suez Canal, and now the success of the first operation of supplying a container ship with green fuel, the methanol, in the ports of East Port Said late on Friday. With that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show. You were in the company of myself, Maisty Rabia. Until tomorrow with another crew, it's goodbye and have a lovely day.